Hello and welcome to this video about DVB-Link Server and Windows Media Center. Video 1, creating your own client/extender. This video aims to just showcase, it won't actually go through these steps of how I've done this, but it will showcase how I've created my own homebrew client, or as Microsoft used to call them, extender. Just a bit of a history. Windows Media Center could be installed on a desktop PC with some TV tuner cards in, and you could on that PC watch live TV, play back recorded shows, etc, etc. But that was only part of the Windows Media Center universe. The other bit was having a Media Center extender, which turned out to be Xbox 360s. There was some Linksys DMA 2100 and 2200 extenders, and there was also a thing in America called a Seaton Echo. These were basically little set-top boxes you put next to your TV with a remote control, and that would they would allow you to watch live TV, playback recorded shows that were ultimately coming from that desktop PC I talked about earlier that you'd also installed Windows Media Center on. So you had a kind of server-client relationship in effect, the desktop PC with Media Center on, and a Windows Media Center extender with Windows Media Center on as well. So you had a client kind of server relationship going there. It worked quite well, but the only thing about it was that you couldn't really design any programs if you were kind of a home user, that if you wanted to put a link on the main GUI for something on the extender, for a bit of software or catch-up TV service or whatever, you couldn't do it. You were limited to what the manufacturers or various software people had designed to develop for Media Center, and very few apps went into the client, went into the extender. A lot of the stuff which worked on Windows Media Center never really worked on the client side of it. So various software you'd install and could only get it to work on that desktop PC you had Media Center on. But what about the extenders around the rooms of your house? You'd want to install extra bits and bobs on those, and you could not do it. The whole thing was locked down. So why would you want to continue on using Windows Media Center is probably a question which a lot of people ask me, and probably if you've not used Windows Media Center or don't know much about it and just stumble on this video, why is somebody in 2019 still persisting with using Windows Media Center? Well, the main reason why people still persist with it is its brilliant use of live television. So if you want to watch live TV, record shows, have a brilliant guide interface, remote control that's really responsive, and it worked really well. It's not kind of a system that's tagged onto another system. I've tried Kodi, I've tried Plex, I've tried Emby, and they're all kind of don't have a great guide. It doesn't look very well, it doesn't perform very well. It has so many more steps in Kodi to watch a show. When I last looked at it, it's just horrid. I have grown up on Windows Media Center. I have used it for nearly, probably getting on for now, 10 years. I stumbled on this DVB-Link Server software probably about 4 years ago, because I kind of got fed up with using Xbox 360s and the limitations that they had, and this is the only software that allows you to do your own client-server relationship with Windows Media Center and watch live TV. You could before, if you wanted to have computers around your home, connected to desktop, connected to your TVs in each of your rooms, but you could never get the live TV functionality to work. You could watch recorded shows from your main desktop PC on your computer next to your TV, or pictures or whatever. But live TV functionality, it didn't work. So this is the only software solution that allows a client-server relationship with Windows Media Center, this DVB-Link software. It's the only one. So this allows you to then make your own homebrew extender. You can have whatever catch-up TV services you want. You can have YouTube, you can have Netflix, anything you want to hang off the Media Center interface you can do, and still have live TV functionality. And live TV functionality is the reason why everyone still persists with Windows Media Center. There was a My Digital Life forum, 500 pages long, with people getting it to work on Windows 10. There's still a need for it. Various situations where, say, you don't have great broadband internet, and all the services I've seen tends to be streaming based. Okay, if you're in a rural location, you don't have great internet, it's beneficial to have an over-the-air system where you can record all your shows and watch them all in all rooms around your house. Okay, and if you don't want to buy for premium services, you want this all to be free, you only want to watch free-to-air television, okay, you're not interested in a Sky box, because obviously I'm based in the UK, I'm a UK user of Windows Media Center. I just want to use the free-to-air services, satellite and terrestrial. Okay, I don't want to pay really for any premium services, and I just want it to all work in every room in the house and have recorded TV work and have an interface with all catch-up TV services on, and this is the best solution I've found. So without further ado, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the setup I've got, my client setup, first of all how it looks externally, and then I'm going to remote desktop into it to show you it working even better. So let me just switch to my camera. So this is one of the rooms in my house. I have an Intel NUC, not a particularly new one, it's probably about 4 years old now. 4 gigs of memory. I have Windows 10 1809 on it, and it's connected to a TV. Okay, so let's power it up, and you can see the boot sequence. So I'm running Windows 10 1809. It's designed to auto log into a user account called Windows Media Center. The desktop background is the same as the theme within Windows Media Center, so it kind of all marries up. It auto logs in to this account, and then it fires up. So I'll stop talking now and you can see it just for a second. Okay, so that's it loaded up. I also just want to demonstrate how it comes out of sleep mode. That's one of the remote controls I'm using. One of the best Windows Media Center remote controls, which has power buttons for turning your TV on and your PC on. A lot of them seem to be missing the PC one, which is a bit annoying. So let me turn it back on again. So that was going to sleep there. So if I turn it back on again, okay, so we've got a Windows 10 screen, which is really nice on the main main television downstairs. In the living room, I've got a big TV down there, and it's nice to turn it on from sleep and it open up to the classic Windows 10 kind of sign-in screen. And with the remote, I'm just going to sign myself in. There's no password on this account, and we're back in again. So that is really neat. Okay, everything I'm going to do in this video will be with the remote control. I do use an RF mouse on the side of the sofa just to do a bit of catch up or mop up sometimes, whereby I have to search for things, but otherwise it's all being done with the remote control I'm going to show you in this video. So let me now remote connect to that NUC. I have to resize Media Center when I go in because I cannot show you it full screen, so I just need to fill it full screen but in a minimized way. Okay. Right. So just reposition. Obviously you saw it on the TV earlier and it was minimized. Okay, so this is my setup. I'm running a theme which is the Shattered Glass theme, but I'm also using an update for Windows Media Center theming where lots of work was done on the buttons and the look of it, called the Metro 8 theme that came out for Windows 8 era, and I've also incorporated other bits and bobs I like, so it is a kind of unique kind of a theme. So let me run you through how it all works. So if I go into, let's go into the guide first of all. So I'm going to have to use the mouse on this demo, but everything else I do will be with the remote control if I was doing it on that camera you saw earlier. So this is the new guide. This is designed by Mike at Modern Media UI. This came out last year. It's a great looking new guide for Windows Media Center. People are still doing this kind of work. It's amazing. I really like this new guide. I think it's a breath of fresh air for Windows Media Center and looks totally different to the old one. So let me show you a few shows and we'll go through having a look. But before I do anything, I'm just going to set a show to record because I'm going to come back to this in a moment. So I've just set Lorraine to record at 12 o'clock. So if I look at the various guide data, so if I click on this future show, it should load up the guide page on it. There we go. So nice clear information. The logos are pulling through really nice on this new designed interface from Mike at Modern Media UI. So if I click on here, so this is the new arrangement of shows and got a nice logo on its side there. The guide data for this is all being pulled from Modern Media UI. Okay, this is a new the guide data is being pulled from DVB Link server. I pay, I think, £12 a year and I get all the guide data. What's great about their guide data, now I don't know if you noticed that the Lorraine show is now not being recorded anymore. I'll come back to that. So let's look at the rest of it. But yeah, the guide data is coming from DVB Link server software. I pay for a subscription. The brilliant thing about them is you get the guide data and you get pictures for all the shows, pretty much everything, which is really, really nice. So all of that's kind of fleshed out, and it just really works really well. I really like the look of it. It's, as I say, a real breath of fresh air for Media Center. So so that's the guide. Going to recorded TV. I've got quite a lot of recorded TV that I need to be watching. A lot of this is my missus's TV. So that's what a lot of this looks like. Again, you can pull the guide data on each show pretty much the way you were pulling it on a show you hadn't recorded and was coming up later. Click on it and you've got the details of the show there. Really neat way of working that was. Okay, it looks really, really nice. So let me go through the other things you get with Media Center if you've set it up and spent a bit of time with it. You can have all your music in it. Okay, let's fire up this. So pick a track and this is how the albums look like, and I can play an album.
We'll save ourselves a bottle.
Now you get this nice, although it's looking a bit smeary on this remote desktop connection, but you get the wall of albums start coming up, which is kind of nice. Initially it's just the same few albums, probably about the same 4 or 5 you can see repeated, but the longer the music plays, the more unique, and it will be the case that every album cover is a unique album cover. So while that's playing, we can go to pictures and start a slideshow going with the pictures. So again, you can do all this from remote control. So this row on the actual guide, this is pictures and videos, so it's generally free range pictures and videos. So if you go somewhere or down or whatever, you can lock them in this category. And if you play them, they've got videos there, some videos. You can play them again on all. So you see that the album art's getting a bit more detail now,
Well, you and I, we
which is
had our moments.
it's really good. Also on this new redesigned guide from Modern Movie Right, it's the movie behind the new look at the control bar, which used to be on the right. So I'm going to stop Brian playing, which kills the album art cover, and then we're back into Windows Media Center. So that's that. So now I've hung some more modern apps off the interface. I'll go for Netflix first. Now this always is a bit of a problem in the remote desktop connection to end it once I've gone into it. Let me just see if I can end it correctly. So that loads up. Now what's happening here is some AutoIt script is running to just minimize Windows Media Center, and once it minimizes it, it then goes into the actual program that you want and loads that. So it's really clever the way it does that. Unfortunately, it's a real pain to get out on this remote desktop connection, so you don't have to do all this when you're on here. Where's it? Netflix.
Will is missing. I don't know where he is.
Okay, let's get rid of that.
99.
Right, so I'll do Alt F4 to get rid of that. So that's Netflix running. I have to click back now. I just need to get a red cursor. So that's Netflix running. If we go into MB, again, you could do all this with remote control. It's only because I was on a remote desktop connection. That is a bit of a faff to get rid of. MB is really nice. It works really well. Presents all your music and all your television and films really well. Is that going to play? Yeah, it's playing. I'll stop that. Okay, so that works really well. It does everything I need really for video. I'll pick another actual movie. Pick that movie. Select the cast. Pulls all of that in really well. So MB is just a really great app for video collections and TV shows. So show you TV shows, how that appears. Oh no, went into 3D movies now. TV shows. So yeah. Go Breaking Bad, open that up. So yeah, it looks neat, it does everything I want. Now this is running directly in Windows Media Center. MB used to be Media Browser plugin for Media Center, now it's called MB. You have to install MB on your main desktop PC for it to build up a library of all your content, and then you install the Windows Media Center client on your client here, and then you've got MB on your start menu. Final thing I need is YouTube. Now the brilliance of this is you can queue videos up from your phone. So let me see if I can open my phone now and start a video rolling.
The rocket equation, it's a beautiful thing.
Playing on my website, on the phone.
No astronaut launches for...
Okay, and now it's connecting my phone. So I don't know why I've got that video, but that's queued up from my phone using the YouTube Leanback service. Okay, which is just youtube.com/leanback, alter its script to minimize Media Center, open a web browser to that leanback service, and as long as you've then configured your phone with the leanback service for that display, in this case this client, you can then start all your videos playing from your phone while sat on your sofa. So that's really handy, really neat little thing. If I press cancel on the remote, now there you go, that's the functionality you generally experience on when coming into something or going out of something. So if I hit cancel, I've programmed the well, no, it's got a clear button actually on the remote. When I hit that, it will kill the web browser program using Event Ghost, and then the auto script will see that the program's died and then revert back to Media Center. So with a really easy bit of auto scripting, I can then let me try again. I do control F4 to kill it. Right, so that'd be then back to Media Center. So that's how that works. Now I've got all the UK's catch-up TV services available, and you can put anything you like in here. So for instance, I want to see what the weather's like. Again, just open BBC Weather. Again, auto script to minimize Media Center. Open up the web page of choice in your browser, display the page. Event Ghost looking for a key to be pressed on the remote to kill the Internet Explorer window or Chrome window, and then when the auto script detects that Event Ghost has killed that program that it's looking for in processes that it's not there anymore, it then reverts back to Windows Media Center as it's just done there. Works really well. So I've just put all my catch-up TV services on here. Again, tiles pointing to the little auto script to minimize Windows Media Center. Load up the thing. Event Ghost monitoring for the kill key on the remote, kills the actual Event Ghost kills the actual process, in this case Internet Explorer, to load this, and then the auto script detects that process is killed and goes back into Windows Media Center. Just really, all of them are designed in that same way. It's really easy to use. Again, I'm not really using the remote. The on-screen keyboard pops up mainly to do a bit of mop-up if I have to search for a show in the catch-up service. If it's not there on the main screen, I need to search for it in the search box, and I just have a small little RF remote on the sofa to do the little bit of mop-up. But otherwise everything's being done with the remote. So that's all the catch-up TV services. Okay, so there's only this is all really good in the sense that you've got live TV. You can hang as many catch-up TV services as you like off the front end. Okay, it all works really well. Pictures, videos, Netflix, YouTube, MB, catch-up TV services, and live TV, music, etc., etc. There's just one caveat though. Okay, and that is a thing called centralized recording. Okay, when DVB Link Server created this ability to create your own Media Center client, it did so using virtual TV tuner cards. So you install a bit of software before you install Windows Media. No, you actually do it afterwards. You install Windows Media Center, then you install this DVB Link client software, and Windows Media Center, you then tune it, pointing it to these virtual tuners, which then allow your client, Windows Media Center, to then see the server machine and get the live TV signal. Okay, all the packets of data stream, from the main desktop, which you've got the TV tuner cards in connected to your aerial. So the only problem with this setup is centralized recording though. If ultimately on the guide we start recording this show, Saturday Kitchen Live, okay, it will record on that Intel NUC I showed you earlier in this room I'm in. Okay, it won't record on the main desktop PC. Okay, if obviously I'm watching live TV, obviously I need it to view on the Intel NUC I'm in front of, so that's fine, but recorded television is not centralized. So in the old Windows Media Center Extender world, which was limited, but in recording wise it did do centralized recording. So if you had a household with a number of Xbox 360 Windows Media Center extenders, and somebody in one room set a show to record, okay, a person in another room would see that that show's being recorded on the main desktop PC. Okay, the client's told the main desktop PC, the main server, to record that show and put it in its network attached storage location or shared network drive. Okay, so that all the other Xbox 360s can immediately start playing that recorded show back after it finishes, or even 20 minutes in. And when looking at the guide, all your client machines in your house, when looking at the guide, would see the shows that are set to be recorded by the main server TV box, the main desktop PC. Okay, so you could see what shows were going to be recorded. You could know that somebody else in your household has recorded that show you wanted to watch also. Okay, you could see the guide. The guide was kind of live. It accurately reflected what the main computer was recording. But unfortunately, that's not the case in this DVB-Link server setup. This is the only real caveat to the whole system, is centralized recording kind of doesn't work. Okay, but there is a way around it. Okay, now if you saw earlier, I set Lorraine to record at 12 o'clock. That was a future show, not what's obviously on now. The time now is 10:41, but I set Lorraine to record at 12 o'clock. I mentioned that the red circle was on it, and while we were looking at the guide earlier, the red circle dropped out. Okay, now what that is Recorded TV Broker in action. There was this app designed by the same guy who had the thing that cuts out the adverts in Media Center shows, okay, which allowed you, if you had multiple computers in your house, each with their own TV tuner card on, they could, if you somebody in one room set a show to record, okay, it would, and that TV tuner card in that PC that you set that show to record on couldn't record it because it was already recording something else. Okay, it would then broker the recording to another computer you had on your network with another, another Media Center computer with another TV tuner card, which was free to record it. I don't know why anyone would want that setup, but I think the guy who wrote a lot of these programs, including that Tech Buddy software, I think it was called, designed this. Now there was an option on it to broker all recordings, okay, which was really smart. So in effect, I had this Recorded TV Broker installed on this client machine. When I set a future show to record, it doesn't do it for current shows unless the current show extends all the way across the guide, and then you'll end up being with a show recording directly on your Intel NUC box in your room and also on the server. So if the show spans the entire width of this guide, then it will record on both, because Recorded TV Broker will tell the main server box to record it, okay, and the local Intel NUC will record it as well. But if it's a future show, an hour to go off, an hour to go, if it's not happening right then, the show will get brokered to your main desktop. So anybody who sets a future show to record on these clients, okay, they will appear as a red circle, and then after a minute they will drop out, and that means that they've gone to the main desktop PC, which is good if somebody does set a show to record. It's going to go and get recorded on the main desktop, and it will then be available to everybody else in the Recorded TV folder. Okay, so let's have a look at how I can, that's one way of sorting out the centralized recording issue. Any future recordings are caught and sent to the main desktop. Okay, but how do you then aid your users who are in front of these client boxes in each of the rooms in your house, so you don't want to go upstairs to where the main desktop PC is in my case and check the schedule, okay, because they can't check it on here, because anything you're set to record future wise is going to disappear off to somewhere else, and any current shows, yeah, they will record locally but only on that box. And then you could have a situation where somebody starts recording the show in the living room, then decides to want to carry on watching upstairs. That's not going to happen in that scenario. So I put, using Emby, I've put some extra options in, because MB has the ability to synchronize with live TV with Media Center and its recording schedule, okay, using something called Server WMC. Okay, I forget the guy who designed it, but thank you, sir, for designing it, because it means that MB can then have a guide, okay, that matches the guide that DVB Link's using, okay, and you can then set shows to record on a phone using MB. Okay, if you've purchased a license for MB that I have, you can see your guide, set shows to record on the MB guide, and they will be passed over to the DVB Link server to record. Okay, well, it will be actually Windows Media Center, but ultimately any shows set to record on there go across as well. So you can then look at what your recording schedule is. So using just a web page and another web page in MB, which goes to the recorded TV schedule area, you can see what we've got to record. And if you look here, we have at 12 o'clock Lorraine. Now I didn't set that, I didn't come into this to show you it wasn't there earlier, but I assure you it wasn't. Okay, and it has gone across to the main desktop PC. So in effect, on the Intel client, Intel NUC client, I can see what the server box is set to record, and this is the recording schedule. All pictures provided by DVB Link server, and they're being shown in MB, which gives you a way of looking at the recorded scheduled shows that your main Windows Media Center machine is recording. So that's Monday shows, Tuesday shows, etc. Okay, you can cancel a show from here if you want to. Do not record, and it will then update, and it won't record. So that is a great way of the people in myself, everyone in my household, to see that they know how this thing works now. It's not hard to explain, and they can easily set shows to record on the guide, check they drop out, and then pop in here a few minutes later and check that they're in here, so that they are, and they don't have to then go to the main desktop PC to do so. Recorded TV Broker brokers all future recordings to the main desktop PC. Okay, you can also look at the guide as well. So if I come out of that and look at the guide upstairs, I don't normally have the red circle, that's just from Netflix. When we went into there, it's not killed the Netflix remote controller. You can go through all of Netflix using the remote as well. Didn't mention that earlier. You don't need a mouse to go for that. And here's the guide, and you can see that what shows are recorded on the guide. Now notice obviously the difference between the guide in Windows Media Center and this guide, which has Lorraine's Pascal show set to record. Okay, whereas if we obviously go back out and go into Windows Media Center and look at the guide in Windows Media Center, obviously that shows on the SD channel. I've got two copies of the channels, one for HD. As you can see, the HD marking is shown correctly in the guide info as well, but that show is not set to record. Okay, but if I set that show to record, which I can do now, go record on that, that isn't going to drop out. And if I go to the recorded TV folder, we can see, oh no, well that's something else I recorded earlier. Let me get rid of that. It's still recording, but we'll get rid of that. Oh no, I can't delete it because it's still recording. But that's Cats versus Dogs. Okay, so that's got a red thing. That is being recorded on this Intel NUC itself. Okay, not on the server box, because you can't see the recordings being actually recorded on this box, but you can see them being recorded on the main desktop. So let's have a look at the guide again. I think I am currently recording that British touring thing, so let's go up to the guide again. Just take a minute to load this web page. Let's go down. There you go. So I'm currently recording the British Touring Car Championship. Okay, I forgot about that. But if I now go back, and I'll show you the other slight problem with centralized recording. So obviously I'm recording that, okay, but unlike this which I was recording, okay, I had the full guide information on the show when I had the red dot, when it was still being recorded, but I have no real guide information on this. No information, the show's only 1 minute, okay, unknown what date and time it is, etc. That is because there is a slight flaw in the Microsoft Groveler service. When I looked into this, there is a service which ultimately scans and looks for new shows being recorded. But because this show is being recorded, this folder we're looking at now, this recorded TV folder, is a mixture of two locations. One, the local C drive on this Intel NUC that has any recordings that were playing live recorded to it, and it also shows any future recordings that were set on the desktop that I'll be recording on the desktop. But that folder of the desktop, well, most of the recorded TV shows is being shared into this folder. It's like a library. It's got two locations: the local C drive location for shows of the NUC, and the remote folder location of where the bulk of the recordings are recorded on the main desktop. But because this show is in the process of being recorded on the main desktop, the Groveler service can't run and get all the extra metadata, okay, from a show that's being recorded elsewhere on a network drive, okay. So what you have to do, after a while, you'll get all the shows that are being recorded won't have the correct metadata, won't be correctly dated like these. They'll all look like this. This was a major problem for me, because it was a case of shows were being recorded, after 3 days all the shows would look like this: unknown, they wouldn't be categorized right, you couldn't find anything. So I had to fix this, and I found a way to fix this. Now it might take me a while to load it because I've got so many shows to record now, but I need to stop the show actually recording. So let me stop the show actually recording on the server. So if I go to the guide, I could do it on the guide or on the other area. Come on, so load the guide. Let's go down. Again, I can even navigate this using the remote normally, but obviously not in a minute. So I'm going to stop this recording on the main server box. Stop recording. Recording cancelled. Okay, so that isn't recording anymore. So I've just stopped to show recording on the main server box. So if I come out of that and go back into recorded telly, okay, nothing will have changed, but that show now actually isn't being recorded anymore. Okay, so I now need to do a sync to kind of get this file to be correctly, the metadata is now written to the file properly, because the show has stopped recording. It's not written in the process of being recorded, it's only properly written when the show finally gets saved. So that's why the information is still as unknown. But this area does not update. You can come and go back into it, it will always show that as that. So how do you get all the shows nicely recorded? Well, the only way I've found that you can do this, so I've got a bit of Autoit script which kills Windows Media Center, deletes the reg key location where it's looking for that network attached storage location. It deletes it, opens Windows Media Center again. Windows Media Center thinks, hey, I should have this network recording location here, but I don't, and re-adds it back to the registry. It's just gone full screen actually there, it does that as part of this. There we go. I've got 112 shows, so it's going to take a moment, but it's re-indexing them all kind of. Might have done the British tour now, hasn't done the British touring car one yet, so it's got to get to 112. So there you go, it's there. So now it's got all the correct data on it. Okay, but those are the two issues with this setup. They're quite minor really, and in the other video I'm going to do 3 more videos. One will be about how to install a desktop PC running the 1809 version of Windows 10 and correctly configure from scratch all of this. Not including the DVB-Link server setup. I will just import a backup file of that. That will be a separate video, and then I'm going to do a video as to how I set up the Intel NUC from scratch as well. But as you can see, this system is really good. The way it displays TV, the way it records TV. I've got all the modern catch-up services, Netflix, YouTube, that I want. Okay, and I've got centralized recording, kind of sussed. Future shows get recorded as they should be elsewhere. We can work around the fact that the centralized recordings don't show on the main guide. You can pop into another guide to check there, or check the schedule. Okay, and my lot know how to do that now. Set some shows to record on the guide. A few minutes later, go and check the schedule. Oh right, yeah, the thing upstairs is recording that and that. Okay, they know to do this. Now it's fairly straightforward, and every now and again you may have to do a sync, okay, to get the new shows that you've recorded to be correctly categorized. Okay, but as you saw, it doesn't take long. It took a bit longer there because I've got so many bloody shows. So that is kind of the end of my video. Thanks for watching, and join me in video 2, which I hopefully will put on the web shortly, which will be how to set up a main desktop PC with the DVB-Link server software and Windows Media Center. Thanks for watching.